What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a top player playing Risk Global Domination. On PC, I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do Fix Friday. Every Friday, I do this show, the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast, and I stream on Twitch as often as I can. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Come along the ride with me. And for today's show, I had an idea to do an analysis of a game. And so we watched my own game back and I was going to talk over it. But then I was like, well, you know what would make that even better is if we had Curlza and Phil with us. So how's it going, Curlza and Phil?
Very well, and yourself, Pete?
Oh, buddy, this is going to be fun. I'm so happy you guys are here because I love you both. I think you are both so talented and kind people. So that is the best of both worlds to me. And let's get
he's buttering us up, Phil. He wants something. He wants something quick. Panic.
You're already good.
He wants us to say that everything he does is great.
No, I definitely fucked up this game. And we're going to show everybody exactly how and why. So let's get started with the video. So the first thing is shout out to Stove for making this extremely sexy lumberjack gif.
What?
It's getting hot in here.
So take off all your clothes.
I am
so hot. I don't want to take my clothes off. Phil, that's very rude to say. Why would you say things?
Yeah, my voice sounds like yours. I like where you're holding the chainsaw.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Getting better
That's the best part.
Extremely phallic.
Come along the ride with me.
Yeah.
Today we are
Okay, so
That
this
was
is
fine.
this is the R3 settings.
Discord Free For All Tournament Season 2, 2022.
What do you
Round
guys
settings
think
are 47%
about the
domination
settings?
on Dracon's Fortress. I love
It's 70%
these
fixed,
settings.
right? This is
Right.
that game.
Yes.
To absolutely smash
I
them.
love these settings. I played that one game with you,
Got a
and
good game in.
um,
Have some
I
really good
asked
opponents.
in
No
my
good
chat,
nuclear
I was
demonstration
like,
in the chat. How are you
how
doing
many
today,
do I
Nuke?
need?
Good morning.
And the addition of like, can I break
to the
through
best
here?
of
How
luck
many
in
can I
your game,
take
sir.
here in order to get to
Don't kill me too
70%? The
badly.
addition of that
It is
skill,
what it is, right?
I think
We're
adds
all
a ton
trying
to
max
this
out our
game.
points here. So
Yeah, it's certainly very interesting. I think it would have been slightly more interesting with fog, like coming off the settings you really like, Pete, in modern Spain.
We're gonna save
70%.
that one in the kitty. But
Oh, okay.
but yeah.
I won't spoil too much.
well, I don't think
about that
I
then.
think Stove invented that, to be honest. But these Dracon Fortress settings are up there. I don't know if I like them better than the Japan fixed 70 we played a couple, maybe a full year ago. But that would be the Tournament Cowboy one the first time.
Those were cool.
I think I was
remember your video.
around then.
Yeah, those were cool settings too, right? But like this map is a bit chokier, so the addition of the bounties being more expensive made it so that everyone is just like, well, it could stalemate or it could end at any moment, right? When somebody finally says, "Fuck it, I'm gonna, I'm gonna take that bounty and call it a day."
And I
right?
guess you have to weigh up in your head.
So, settings for this.
Well, this is it, and like I don't want to spoil too much, but that definitely did happen at some point in this video.
Well, you guys have seen this game. I remember this game, so we don't have to worry about spoilers so much as
Blizzards are off. Alliances are
the
off.
decision making of the
Splits.
players. The point at which you say, I'm going to choose to take that bounty, take the 3 points, take the 2 extra placement, and those are the points I'm going to get. It's a lot of mind reading.
Get this party started.
Gotcha.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
it's,
the. Go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry, go. You go.
Hard.
I remember the first time I was
Thanks.
playing
Good
like
luck, Stoney.
I wasn't in a tournament, but I was playing tournament, and I was playing with you and Zirip, and Zirip killed me. I thought I made this great move where I moved off to the corner of the map, and it was a Caps Spain game with fog, and Zirip decided to kill me to get second. I was like, why would he do that?
Points.
You know, it was up, but it was the 10 plus the 3 at the time bounty, and so I sat up at night and I was like, okay, so like that's another wrinkle to this is points. So what may look dumb may actually mean that they're moving on, you know.
Even more interesting. and we will see why shortly.
So
I like this
Guys,
with
thank
no
you.
fog,
I
by the
appreciate
way.
it.
I showed everyone's points at the beginning so that we got a sense of who was feeling like I was feeling really confident. I had had a great first 2 rounds. I didn't need a ton of points to advance, which was
Norway
a nice feeling.
1 hours, an 81 and 53 record.
So how many points before the game started? How many points were you looking at getting, like as a minimum?
Okay.
Did you have a plan to try and get a bounty, or were you
Certainly,
content with
if-
trying to just get high as
certainly
you could?
if I could take a bounty, I would take one.
VP.
But my strat for fixed games and tournaments still tends to be go for the win, because worst case scenario, you usually get one bounty on your way there. But as we see in these settings, that's not the case, and they were extremely low scoring this round, probably more than any other.
I don't think that Pink needed to make that extra attack at that moment, because I think they could have used it as an attack the next turn. I don't think their threes were in danger, that they needed to combine them.
And Nuke's
Okay.
record is 586 hours. With
So do you want to just quickly run through who the people in this match are? Because I think that's kind of helpful to understand what they might be thinking,
Sure.
and roughly what their skill level is, because I think that's very important to understand
Sure.
in these sort of games.
So we have in the first position we have Dromdensarn. Dromdensarn is someone who has been watching my show, I would say about a year, probably more. We've spoken on and off. He is Norwegian. A fine strategist. I haven't played him a ton, but I know he's very good. In the second position we have Exalt, and Exalt is an intermediate or an expert. He's more aggressive on average, as far as I can tell.
He's watched a ton of like Risk stuff on Twitch and YouTube, so I think that just saying he's intermediate or expert is slightly misleading.
Well,
I've seen him on Twitch a lot.
we all know just how bullshit the ranking system is. But if you're tuning into this show for the first time, yes, big asterisk around whether or not a player's rank is meaningful and to what extent it is meaningful. So that's good to clarify. The third position, the orange player, is the host AI. So in every single tournament game, we have a bot, and up to and sometimes including the semis, because the host of the game takes the score and they take the game code and they bot out immediately. In the fourth position is Nuke, and Nuke is a great top 100 grandmaster, top 50 grandmaster, classy guy, been around a lot, been on the podcast, plays with Escape, plays in tournaments. He does a little bit of everything. I think Nuke really got the short end of the stick this game, and he just couldn't establish a profitable position and couldn't really find himself in one.
He's very good.
Yeah. So I'm in position 5, which, if you guys know me, I'm very happy to be there, particularly in Fix, because I'll take those 2 extra troops. And
I think in Fixed it's better to be later in the position, but in Progressive I'd much rather be early.
Yeah, well, I figure Phil likes the initiative too, eh?
In Fixed, I like to go later. And it's not just for the 2 extra troops, it's because then you get to see where everybody else is establishing and then try to establish somewhere else. And I think that knowledge is super vital. So like if you have blue and pink, butting up against each other, there could be a war later. And, maybe you can avoid a war by just establishing a different continent. So yeah, later is better.
And the final player is Medi. He's going as undead, so he's the fake zombies in this game. And Medi is known as Mr. Fufu, which is kind of like the inverse of good neighbor theory, right? It's gunboat diplomacy. Fufu. Can either of you guys define it for me, or what is?
I think it's better for you.
Yeah. What's Fufu, Phil?
When somebody fucks you, you fuck them right back.
There you go.
Instead of playing to win, you just go back at them.
Which is a pretty cool subtle message to send as an idea. Well, same with nuclear demonstration, right? There's an implied threat there. So I like both of that. You fuck me, I fuck you sort of thing, right?
And finally,
I think that's very good if you play the
undead
same people
from
over and over
unspecified
again.
location
It's not so
at
good
2.
just in normal ranked.
Ooh,
But
don't
I
in,
agree.
in a tournament like this, I
Unspecified
think that's
location,
a good
348
reputation to have.
with 180 and 240.
Well, this is Machiavelli, right? Is it better to be loved or feared? It's better to be both.
I don't love my position.
I think the bot kind of screwed you here because you could have pulled those 2s in
Good luck.
to your
Thank you,
continent
Kitty.
in the
Good
left.
luck.
Yeah,
Have
so
fun.
I lose a 2 on the first turn. I also lose a 2 on the second turn. So it starts to look a little dire for me right off the bat. You see, I kind of have an obvious first turn play. Would you guys have made
Thank you, Tim. You did
the first
great,
turn play
You're,
any differently
you're
than
getting
I
my
did it?
PC.
If I remember, did you go for this
To
bottom
continue
left
to tie
wall?
you up,
Of course.
That's the best we will hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the most obvious play.
And take it
Absolutely.
strong, right?
Central position.
Yes.
Which is funny too, because look at this. So Nuke actually gets a really good bonus right off the bat. And I figure what I would have done if I was Nuke would be to take the bonus to the right of that immediately.
That's where my eyes were for him.
Okay, so maybe the fact that he didn't do it, he wasn't aggressive enough in that moment, could be the actionable learning point for Nuke's game here.
But look at the bot on that right content.
Yep.
So he has to protect against 2 4s. So I think he made an
Yeah, and
educated decision.
Right.
Okay, so Medi's going to be here.
Fair enough.
And that's the thing. I think in the early rounds of this, you have to just be watching the bot.
Fucking bad for me.
Because you know players are just going to look for their bonus, but the bot is what's going to fuck the game up.
That bot's gonna fuck your game up if you're not careful.
It's early in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Exactly. So you have to be like hyper aware of the bot in the first couple of rounds and understand what it's looking for.
So you see, I put a single. You see, I put a single troop there. Do you guys like that or no?
I do.
Better than none.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean,
not because I don't trust Medi. It's just that if I lose that, I lose the game, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna make it so that if you want to break me, you're gonna pay. Yeah. So far,
like it.
so far, so good.
I think especially because it's early, you don't need to have a single big stack yet.
Well, and he goes
Like-
after me, so he's putting in 6 fucking troops, right?
Royal, Tempest,
So if he put 6 on that 4, he'd have a 10 stack. He could just eat right through that bonus. So I'm at least going to try and make it as expensive as possible.
Yeah, of course.
This is all the bonuses now. There's a lot. Let's just talk about this for a split second. The bonuses on Dracon's Fortress. Dracon's Fortress is one of the best fixed maps I've ever seen because
awesome.
there's no safe place to hide. There's no Asia. There's nowhere you're going to get free takes after the board stabilizes by like the 5th-ish turn. You're gonna, if you want those takes, you're gonna piss somebody off. And that's what makes and the fact that it's so interweaved and connected makes it, and no blizzards. So the only chokes are the ones we create. Oh, I just love these settings. I really do, like you can tell. I just absolutely think they're
get
brilliant.
excited.
Yeah.
Well, I think Phil was probably the man to ask about this.
Yeah.
About what he thinks, because he's much more of a Fricks guy than I am.
I like it because it promotes fighting for all the reasons Pete just said, right? Because you're just like, Pete just took a continent and there's a ton of them, or a bonus, and he's right next to another bonus, and then not far from another one, and not far from another one. So that promotes fighting, which makes the game not stalemate. So I think I completely agree with you that these are amazing settings.
So Dromden's second turn. I really like this second turn. In the sense that he's not overextending. He lines up a second bonus. He will get that second bonus, and that second bonus is distributed. He's not attaching himself to himself. Makes you harder to kill, and allows you to establish advantage going forward. So I really like this move, and that's why I wanted to point it out. He's not going to risk rolling the 5v2 because he doesn't need to. And as we see, that bot actually goes and hits me instead, so it works really nicely for him.
I don't want to hit Medi's 4 here, but
It gives you a bouncing off point later on when you're going for 72. You want like multiple armies to bounce off because you have to break through people's walls and then clear up the ones behind them. So I agree, it's awesome. Very good.
Similarly, Exalt is in a great position.
I'll pull that 3.
If you guys were Exalt, would you have tried to take that +5 in the top?
I also don't want to be in a
No, because I think that's where the trades are going to happen. I think if I was in this position right now, I'd be thinking someone's going to take green out of there, and we're going to have a trade between a couple of people in there.
And that's someone.
That's where we're going
Exalt.
to. That's where we're going to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the obvious move, right? Is to kick green out of them, put pressure on them, and then
So this couldn't work out better for Drama Sarn. The bot rolls out of the bonus he's trying to take and hits another 2-stack of mine. So I lose successive 2-stacks on the first and second turn.
You're just getting rocked, aren't you?
I wasn't a happy man at this exact moment in the game. You look at the look on my face, right? He's just. Can we see Pete?
Yeah.
Pete looks a little concerned.
despair, just despair.
Still trying to win this tournament, you know.
So you think this was an over attack, and here's why I think that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think Nuke over attacked? Let's go back.
Absolutely.
Let's go back to this.
Yeah.
One. So he took
I
4 out of 5 of this bonus. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think he had like a decent sized stack, and he just made it weak and left ones behind with a bot behind him, and then 2 other players with access to it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not feeling like I if I remember right, he doesn't get this bonus, but I'm not feeling like this is I'm gonna own this bonus move.
So you think the
he's
smarter
gotta
way to play it would be to keep the stack big and just go do that, but do that over multiple turns?
I would have stopped there. It wouldn't have been necessarily been one spot a turn, but
Yeah.
it would have been I go ham when I think it benefits me, right? And I don't go ham before it benefits me.
A 3 is too small. I hear you,
Correct.
right? Having a 3 the way it is, a 3 isn't enough troops. Okay, so
I think that it could have been a good play, but the problem he has is his 2 at the bottom is so vulnerable as well. Like, you can't have 3 vulnerable positions, because then you just get kicked out of there, and then you're in one position, and what do you do for the rest of the game?
get eaten.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the big mistake was.
So
is being too light too many places.
I'm very proud of my second turn as well. I think this, and obviously I got good dice, but I think this worked out because the cutting across the long middle, and essentially claiming that bonus before anyone else could, but not overdoing it, really secured me to lead into the game that I was trying to play, right, where I establish advantage and the way you guys know I like to play fixed, right? Always be in a position where I benefit myself.
I'll give you the props.
Right? You guys gonna let me hold this? Right? You guys gonna let me hold a second bonus? Who likes that? Because I got a good thing going with Medi now. The only person who can meaningfully hit me is Medi. I'm guarding against the bot. I loosen up on Exalt. I don't threaten him with that.
So I actually have a...
Right? I don't threaten Medi with the non-confrontational hold. But the one downside is your earlier point, Curlza, I am still in one position.
Contiguous bonus. It doesn't look like
Yes.
it. Looks like
And the other thing is, with that move, did it ever cross your mind to use your middle 4 on the left to manual roll Medi's 3 down to make it easier for your stack to go across? I know you did end up getting a really good roll, but is that something that you would think about, knowing you've got the 3.3 troop guard on either side?
Because I'm not going to risk my only continent against the bot. That 4 is too important to my game. So no, I didn't think about that.
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah,
that is
no,
something
right on.
that I would have thought about doing to try and mitigate the risk as much as I possibly
Well, what
could.
was it? An 11?
He could have stopped though, right? He could have
Because
not taken that
I'm
bonus
also
until the
assuming
next turn.
that pink takes that.
Right, but I'm not.
But
I'm not going to take that risk. Because what if Dromdensarn is like, hey, let's see if the bot breaks Pete. Why not? Right? Let them be the best. He's fine. He's in a great position. He's still in 3 places. He's got a 5 stack that no one's going to pop at this early stage, right? He has a bonus. He doesn't need to take a second bonus. And if that second, right? You see what I'm saying? Maybe.
Yeah.
And another thing too is we got to remember how important it is, the bounty, right? So everyone currently at this stage of the game is watching the bot and waiting to see who's going to kill the bot and who's going to get those 3 points. So that one, he's not necessarily in a rush to remove because that kind of limits his potential to get that bounty. It's all a juxtaposition. You're going to get you're going to lose the equity from getting the bounty, but you're going to gain the extra bonus troops towards hopefully winning the game. So how do you draw that calculus in the moment?
This structure a lot.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's a real balance because you can't get too strong too quickly because then people will take notice and
I was able to finagle
start
a
doing
second
something
bonus.
about
I'm
it.
really happy with that.
I
Now
don't
we
think
see how
this is what I would have
Okay,
done.
so what's gonna
I hate that
happen
bonus.
is
Where do you go?
Exalt says
Ah,
those 2 bonuses he's
He
slowly
went
gonna
there,
take
but
those-
I would have gone where the 2 4s are, I think.
Yeah, or where his 4 is and take the 3 territory bonus. I like that
Yeah, that's
even
way
better, right? Because then you have a kill guard on that bot's 3. I think from what I was expecting Mehdi to do that turn was add to his 4 and hit Exalts too, in the bottom middle. And he didn't. He didn't do that at all. He took a second bonus, and that's the shit bonus. But at least he only has to guard it with a 3 because he knows Nuke isn't going to break him there. Okay.
Yeah, he can't
Nuke
because
is
there's too
gonna
much
take
by him.
this
Yeah,
on
Nuke
a
can't
second.
afford
He'll
it.
have these 2. Mehdi will have these and then fight over this. Purple takes this.
I
and
might have come
this.
out with that
This is
7 all
still
the way
no
up
man's land. I
towards
can
the
conquer
bot.
some of it without pissing anyone
Then you're
off, so that is the next
even
part
that
of the board I'm going to
bounty.
activate.
Okay, so
Also,
turn
I think
3.
happens here is a card
Dromdensarn
game
adds to
sets
the
up
5, so he's got a
these
6 up there now. And as Curlza predicted, he takes a second bonus. Okay, so now the bot is in 4 places.
I like that.
green,
So who has the kill on the bot?
and I think somebody pisses
In
somebody off.
Green or pink?
who takes it? Who actually takes it?
So that's what.
No, I'm just saying, at this
And let's
point,
see how
who
much
has
of
got the
that
best
prediction
position to
comes
take
true.
it? And it's looking like pink to me
Pink or
at
blue,
this point in
right?
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, Exalt has lines.
Yeah,
Exalt isn't
yeah.
gonna have to
Exalt's
use
probably
this
actually
anymore.
Exalt's probably got a
It's
slightly
pressure
better
off. So let's
line on it.
see.
Yeah,
He does.
Exalt has lines. Exalt probably could have killed the bot this turn. So let's go back to the beginning of Exalt's turn. He's adding
Involved in. So that's what.
how many troops?
Green and yellow.
It's 8. Okay, so he's putting in 8
Okay.
troops. Can he? Let's. If you were in Exalt seat, would you take the bounty right now?
3v.
Okay,
You add
it's
3 to the
12,
4.
12 troops. I don't think he can get. No, he can't. He can't do it. He can't get to that one next to your top bonus. He hasn't got enough troops to kill 100% kill the 3 and kill the 2 down the bottom.
So
he
doesn't
has
have
to add,
100%.
So would you go less than 100%?
at this stage of the game. No, I think it's too risky
No.
Okay. Okay.
because you're if you fail, you're gonna get 5th place without
Yeah,
it.
your game's ruined. Fair enough.
And I think
And if you
somebody
don't
pisses
do it, you're
Because
probably.
you-
I mean,
you
he's
just
probably
got
looking at top
way
3.
too much.
So that's what.
Exactly. Like he's in such a
And let's
strong
see how much
position.
of that prediction.
Like he doesn't need to take that risk.
Okay.
And I think if the bot continues to get weaker over the next turn, he's probably in the
Exalt isn't gonna
most
have
likely
to
position
boost
to
this
still kill
anymore.
it.
To get it anyway,
Pressure
sure.
off. So let's see
Yeah.
if he does the same.
I don't think I would kill
Oh,
the
he's gonna have
bot
Nuke, so Nuke isn't gonna
until
take this
there's a
second.
card trade too,
Alright,
as
Exalt
well.
will continue to.
But this is the thing, like everyone's kind of antsy
So-
about killing the bot.
so
And that's
here's-
what I think could make it exciting.
Here's something I wanted to mention. So I was hoping I didn't. First of all, I didn't expect Exalt to make that attack. I actually expected them to let Nuke get a second bonus. And then the second thing I expected to happen that didn't happen was I was expecting him to take the pressure off me in that corner, which he never does. So the fact that he moves the different 3 back to
No.
his 6, right?
Okay, he doesn't. He thought about it though, so we're good.
I knew I was good that he wasn't going to break me, but I didn't like that he didn't relieve the pressure on that front. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I guess I have to worry about this continent a little bit still.
And the thing is, like, if he leaves it down there, and the thing is, if he moves the 3 to his other 3 down the bottom, and it makes him easier to go for the bot, if necessary.
Yeah.
On there.
Yeah, he can still push through. So
weakens
the
one
fact
player.
the fact that he didn't do that was not what I expected him to do, and I didn't like it. I'm trying my best this entire game is to predict what my opponents are going to do, and the more effectively this was the strategy, the big picture strategy I was going into with this game is the more effectively I can model everyone's individual mental state, the more likely I am able to predict when I have an opening and an opportunity to either make a kill or hit the 70 or both, right?
I actually think you're reading into this turn too much, because if he hits the 5v1 in green, then he opens a 7, and if he hits you, he breaks you and he has an enemy, and then everything else is what? More than one that he has to hit. So I think that was his obvious play, and then he has to move it.
I'm not talking about.
So I disagree.
Hit.
I don't think he should move it back to that 8, because what is that 8 really doing? He's already got 6 troops up the top, but if he moves the 3 that's next to Pete down towards where Nuke wants to have that bonus, he's got an extra set of troops that can do something way more active. You know what I mean? Takes pressure off Pete, so they can be good neighbours. He's still got a stack there, so if Pete does decide to break him, he can retaliate. But if you've got that, now his 8's blocked to go down, and that 8's not really doing anything that his 6 at the top can't do. So I feel like he's just trapping troops for no reason.
If there's no psychology involved, I agree with you. But leaving a 3 in a continent that someone like Nuke is obviously going for, like, this is only his 3rd turn. His 2nd turn, he spent like almost all of his troops going for that continent. You know,
he's trying to piss off Nuke. He's trying to not piss off Nuke while still getting a card. Question for you here, Phil, though. You said he doesn't want to open the 7.
He has a 6 next to him.
But he's not going to start a war with Medi, right? Him and Medi are best buds in that front. He's got 11 troops in there. I think if he adds to that 5 and takes Medi's 1 and doesn't guard from Dromensarn's 5, I think he's fine, and I think he lays claim to more cards in that position. But you don't like that?
I do like that.
Yeah, so opening the 7 wouldn't have been... That was another move I thought Exalt might do. Might add to the 5 stack, move down that line. And yeah, sure, the 7's open, but he still's got good kill lines on the bot. He would have to now push through the bottom. But as we see, that doesn't end up being the way it happens.
Matter too.
He could get wiped from that east position, though. It's a slightly riskier move, but I don't think I don't feel like that would happen.
Fucking hilarious.
So how about this? How about Nuke taking another bonus? Slowly.
I love you guys. You're joking.
I like that.
Okay, so what does that do for the bounty on the bot, though? So that kind of stops Pink getting the bounty on the bot. That move.
No, it stops Blue from getting the bounty on the bot. Pink can still get it. Blue can't.
Oh, yes, he can go the other way.
Right.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Or around the inner wall.
So I start my turn with 12 territories, which means I get an extra troop, feeling really good about 9 now. You see, okay, so we switch it. Now Pete is happy, right? Now we have happy Pete. Right? Just a turn earlier, we started our turn, we were not happy. Now we are in a beneficial position where we are generating the highest number of troops a turn, and this is the kind of fixed I like to play. So what do I...
You had 18
One from the front, no way.
Turn, by the way, and you have 31 now. You went from 18 to 31 and starting your 3rd turn starting your 1st turn to starting your 3rd turn. So kudos.
I am an aggressive man. So we start our turn, and what do we do here?
Okay.
I actually don't remember.
Okay, so pause it and let's think about what we would do in this situation.
All right.
Because I think that's interesting. So
it's true.
What would I do?
Can I recall my move? Fuck, I don't remember this move. What would you do, Curlza? Tell me.
Alright, so I would probably add some troops to your 4 down the bottom. I would definitely add to at least 7 up the top. We're in the card trade area. And then I'd probably add to your 2 middle 3s. Actually, no, sorry. The middle of your 3s on the right-hand side at the top.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what I do.
That's what I would do, because I definitely want to have card trading ability. So I definitely don't want my 4 to disappear. I don't need to be aggressive towards anyone else, so I can just kind of do the deny stack.
So I do it a little bit differently than you, right? I spread it out more.
But once again, I'm thinking about when can I get 70%. So I'm already thinking about trying to set up stacks.
So I'm guarding.
And you're thinking a little bit more defensively, it looks like.
Okay. So this is
At this stage-
another instance where you lean more aggressive than me.
Why did you leave it?
Leave what?
Late game because it's 70.
That 4, you down there, just to leave it as active.
Why did I push down into the continent Nuke was trying to take?
Yeah, you stopping him.
Because
What's your motivation?
Because he stopped taking it. He put on his last turn. He put into a different bonus. So now we assume Nuke is going to take the bottom right hand side, and that will be his second position. So I can block. I can now hold and trade out of that spot too, right? What I'm doing right now is I'm setting up barricades. So I can expand out of my position every turn and not lose ground, which leads me into a spot where I hit the 70 because I'm holding half the map or a third of the map to begin with, and I chain 1 kill into just enough to win. Right?
Nice.
Okay. That's the thought, at least.
Have you started looking at like potential pathing yet? Or are you just trying to set up the game at the moment?
So
are you already starting to think about pathing?
No, my game is more self-focused, and then when things become available, I then try and see it and calculate it, as opposed to I lean into my intuition with when kills or 70 wins or all that stuff is actually possible. When it's not possible, when it's marginal, when it's like, okay, we're there, it's worth doing, it's worth taking the risk to do. Right now, what I just like to do is I like to build advantageous board position, particularly because it's fixed. And if I can keep walking out, you know what I mean? If I can keep walking out a single territory a turn that I don't lose ground ever, then I will, by that logic, win the game. Inevitably, right? Unless someone stops me. And that's why it's killed Pete. It stopped me.
I think in a game like this, everyone's good enough that they know what you're doing.
Yep.
So I feel like
someone's going to stop me.
Exactly.
Well, then do it.
You actually
I mean, fair enough.
So that you can take the 70.
It's all good.
And it's also that well, if you stop me, then you're giving someone else the advantage as well. So it's kind of a bit of game of chicken, no?
Yeah, a bit. Very much.
So I have a couple questions right here for you.
Go ahead.
One is tournament play. When you realize, hey, I'm not getting this bounty on the bot. Is it then prudent to get the bot away from you so that they don't trade and smack you?
You're talking about my 5 in the top middle?
Yeah. Or let's see if there's anybody else in that situation. Yellow could do it as well. Start getting the bot away from them so that they don't get busted by the bot.
Well, what did I just hit, Phil?
Just give it. You just hit a bot. So
what did I just hit? Right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think if I've now given up, to your point, I think I've given up my hope of taking the bot kill.
I gotta find. I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry, guys.
So interior
You're
guards
so I build out.
hold bonuses, which is what I'm trying to do at this stage
Okay.
of the game.
Second thing I was going to talk about is, let's say it's a little different, but when I'm playing like classic fixed or any fixed map, I am, you know how when you're in progressive, you're like constantly looking for like chaining kills and killing people.
Yep.
And it seems not realistic and fixed as much to most people. I actually do that quite frequently in fixed. So to Curlza's point earlier was like, are you looking for like your route, etc.? Like every turn and in between turns, you go through this checklist in your mind, and one of the checklists is, do I have a win? You know, and a win means you have an advantage on the last player in a 1v1. Maybe not in this situation because they just get 70 and you lose, but you just have to take that into consideration. So uh, I just don't know. Do you do that in your mind? Do I have the win? Where I can like kill people when you're playing fixed as
No,
well as
it
your
sounds
progressive
it
game?
sounds like you guys do a much more active version of what I do.
I missed that. What was the?
I go really into how it feels. Right, so I
So
leverage my intuition. I leverage the sheer number of repetitions and games and time to feel it out and say, okay, now this is a thing that could work.
so Curlza, so like when I'm playing fixed, like I'm like kind of counting in my head all the time and seeing like, because there's times where like two people are weak. You're in a 4-player game, whether you started with 6 or 4. In fix, and two people are weak, you can kill those two, get their cards, kill the and then have the first strike on the last person and be in a better position in 1v1. So I am constantly like, do I have the win is one of like my per turn checklist items. Do I have the win? Do I have the win? Do I have the win? And part of that's like counting. So when I was playing playing this map, I was constantly like, okay, if I break through here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I was actually counting to whatever it was, 32 or 33 that you need to win this. And I was one territory off one turn. I was like, I just can't get to one more territory when I was the only practice game of this I played, but that was like halfway through this game that we played that somebody else ended up winning. But so for me, like it bounced off your previous question, like, are you looking for lines for the win? Like I think that even early in a game, when you advance in fixed skill, you need to like, do I have the win? Do I have the win? What's the winning condition? If I kill this person, where am I at afterwards? And where's everybody else at? So like I'm going through this like checklist in my mind that's almost too quick to like explain as you're doing it.
Which
I think
is
that's very important to do because that's what I do in progressive all the time.
Similar.
Or 3. Once I've started to see what the layout of the game is, I'm starting to look for kill lines like immediately. I'm just working out in my head how close is it to getting a kill? Is it worth it? When can I go for it? And like I think it's very habit forming. So whenever I talk to people about risk, I'm always saying, what's your kill line on someone? You should always be prepared. So when it does come to your turn, you've already got a pretty good idea of how you want to execute anything you do. So whenever I'm sitting there, I'm not just sitting there like twiddling my thumbs while it's other people's turn. I'm trying to work out if I was to go for a kill on blue or orange or yellow, whoever it might be, I'm already starting to plan out the pathing in my head. You know what I mean? And so if I do get an opportunity for it, it's much less thinking time on my turn. And I'll back just because I've done it so many times now, I'll back myself to do it.
I've done it for 7 turns a lot of times by the time I do it. Right?
Exactly. That's the thing. I think it's important to like for people newer people to risk. I think you have to get into the habit of doing it, and it's something you have to do. Like physically, like force yourself to start thinking early about kill lines and stuff. So when it gets to your turn, you've got the time to do it, and it becomes just very habit forming. Like I'm sure Pete does it subconsciously,
yeah.
and
I
like the better
I see you
players
doing
do
it in
it.
progressive all the time. Yeah, you're very good at doing it in progressive, and sometimes I'm like, you get the line way quicker than me in progressive. Sometimes big map and stuff, and I'm just like, whoa, nice kill.
It is very satisfying when you get it.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like it's a lot of where the fun is for me. It's just like, yeah, now's my chance, and you get them. It feels so fucking good.
Mhm.
All right, let's keep going.
Exterior guards. So that's
I'm talking to chat right now about the
opportunity
difference. Ooh, here's something to chat with you guys about. The difference between the exterior guard and the interior guard in fixed 70. So when do you... I mean, this is actually... It's a good fixed principle in general, but I think in fixed 70, you're also interested in choking the board. So just for... maybe someone who isn't exactly familiar with what I'm talking about. An interior guard would be something like this 4 that doesn't touch any of its opponents, right? It's interior to Medi here. It's interior to me, to my 6 across the way. Why is that 4 there? What is the 4 for? Because you guys usually see me advocate not locking troops. So in this case, this 4 is stopping Medi from getting the 70 in like 10 turns. So that's what you guys are talking about, right? Planning ahead?
Yeah, so I think this is a... yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So like, just looking at the board position, you can play if you want, but just
Yeah.
looking at the board position at the moment, what I'm thinking
But I
is
really want.
I definitely want to add to your 5. I want to have more troops there, 100%.
Okay.
Like, I feel like 5's way too
You
light.
wouldn't
I'd
have
like
left
me...
that few troops there at the end of my turn?
No, I wouldn't have. I would have
But-
made that at least 7.
But Curlza, I already have a 4 on the other side.
I do understand that.
So who's
but
going to hit me?
it's-
Dromdansarn? Dromdansarn hits me, then I get in there anyways, right?
I guess that's true. I mean, that's just...
That's the logic.
From my
That's
experience,
the logic I'm running
yeah.
on. If I happen to lose a 5, which is never going to happen, because who rolls a 5? And besides, I know what Dromdansarn's about to do. He's about to kill the bot,
For the bit's gone.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I would. If I was him, I'd kill that fucking bot.
Why don't you?
So that 6 isn't going to be a 6 for much longer.
Pay attention to it.
That's true. So what does he have to make that? 8? To make it pretty much 100%? Or 9 to be 100%, but 8 would probably...
8v3, so he probably needs 9, and then it's not
Yeah.
quite 100% because he could lose one on the first attack.
Or 7v3 is 100%.
Well, he's already
7v3?
starting his turn with 9. So Dromdansarn's at 33. The bot's at 10 with a 3
9
trade.
would
If
win.
he kills this bot, the only real risk he has to take is rolling through Exalt's 5. And he gets the first bounty. And we see it. We have 100% rolls pretty much, except for that 3 at the end. He puts a little bit too many troops.
In 3 positions.
Yeah, too many at the top, I think.
Yeah,
By
we
1, but I
really
think that makes a
good
difference
reversal.
when he goes for the 8, going through the 2 and then the 3.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess he doesn't do it this turn.
Yeah.
Wait
you're
till
right,
he
though,
gets
he
the trade
does-
in.
Can I get that bot kill somehow? Cards?
So now I'm thinking about the bot kill.
Hey.
I actually
I
have a
got
10
cards.
trade, which I noticed in my practice games. Having an early 10 trade was quite rare, and maybe that just was my luck, but I think the cards skew low in this map somehow. Or maybe I just, again, maybe I just...
What it is on this, but I think that's...
Patience
An
with
early
the
10 trade
right.
is going to be
Also, doesn't look so
kind of
good for
rare
Luke.
anyway, because you have
See,
to have one
once,
of
once
these.
again, I don't like that by Exalt. Like,
Bot kill.
he's got those 2 borders, those 2 1s, blocking his 10. Why doesn't he bring the 3 down there? Like, no one is taking that bonus anytime soon, so why not have the 6 troops there?
Luke hits that though.
I agree now. Yeah, he should definitely
I
have
have,
troops down.
I have a theory.
Yeah?
I think he's worried about me.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
Breaking you.
I'm very used to people playing with a latent fear of me, which might be why he doesn't want to leave that front open with a 3. Maybe it's why he wants to kind of, threaten to occupy that middle bonus up at the top.
Oh,
Yeah, go.
maybe it's because I've played with you a bunch, but I know there's no way known you're breaking him there with
Yeah.
the board position how it is.
Of course.
Because
There's
you've
no
got
way.
2 bonuses.
Yeah,
He's only got 2 bonuses.
I have
You guys
way
are
too much
balancing
to
out
lose.
pink.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have way too much to lose to
Zero
do.
chance.
Right.
It's so phenomenally low that you break him in that position.
Right, but you've played with me a lot more than Exalt.
Yeah, that's maybe true, and maybe
And-
that's just because
And you have
Like-
access to hundreds of hours of my mind on this
Yeah.
YouTube project. So you have a very good sense of what I'm going to do. This is what actually makes, when we play together in a competition, such a fierce matchup, right? Because I think you can out predict me very well, right?
played in the GM final twice. Yeah, but you also know how I play as well, because you've played with me enough to know exactly how I like to play.
I humbly...
I'm going to be right back.
All right. I humbly like to think I have a great memory. So I really try to pay attention to everyone I play against and learn as much about them as I can. So, all right. So Nuke does the obvious here, right? He takes he sets. He sets with a 4 trade because he's worried about dying.
Grab the bot's dick and twist it. No, that's your job.
Yeah, he might be worried about dying. For sure.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have traded a 4 trade. I think that's way too much.
What did he get?
He got a 4 trade. Nuke traded a 4 trade on 3.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, if you got 3 troops though, what was he on? So he would have been on 31 instead. Yeah, I don't think he's dying. I think that is.
I think that's
too early.
I think that's an error. Yes.
Yeah.
I think you hold your cards. And as long as he's still in 3 good positions. No one player is going to kill him in the next turn or even 2. I think he survives to trade on 4.
What did
I
he
think
trade
the
on
other
for?
really important thing that just happened that we kind of glossed over is the bot just took out Exalt's position.
He did. Exalt can't kill the bot anymore. Right.
Yeah, so now...
Yes. Very important.
Who can kill the bot?
Really
only Pink or
only
you.
Yes, only I can't kill
But
the bot.
pretty much only
I can't
Pink.
can't kill the bot. I can't get to that 1. There's no way for me to kill the bot. I'm not pushing through an 8. I'm not pushing through a 10. I'm not pushing through 10. There's 0 chance of me killing that bot. I've resigned my game to the knowledge that I will not be getting the bot bounty, and I'm playing with 100% to that expectation.
Bonuses. He's not giving me an easy take.
No, I just wanted to point that out because I think that's a really important factor in this game now.
It is. It changed, yeah.
So well, eh?
Because now, what I would be thinking about is maybe someone taking that 10 out, and it's risky.
Kill it, I have to push through
But
2 green 6s. Which
if you were to,
so if I were to kill Dromensarn's 10, if I was going to
if you roll it, manual roll it a couple of times and maybe get it down to 5, does Exalt then take out the 10 and understand why? I haven't played with Exalt enough to know if he would understand why you were doing that.
I would be risking so many troops for so little value, right? I don't play vindictively. I don't play to stop you. I want you to win. I just want to win more. That's my entire philosophy in games, right? I'm not. Yeah, and I think it's probably not the right move. In this situation, I'm not just going to fuck over Dromensarn and remove a 3rd position 10 stack to prevent him from taking the bot kill. I want that bot to die. I want the game to progress, right? I'm
just saying, if that was like a 5, would you take that out then?
Oh yeah,
just stop.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
In a
like 10 too many. I agree.
10's too many. No, if it was a 5 there, I would consolidate my 5 into my 4, and I'd remove him from the pocket without hesitation.
You're not worried about a 12 pointing at you and him only being 2 turns later than you? 2 turns is important because he's still gonna be mad.
Mad is different. I don't think Dromensarn in this situation, in a tournament game where he's in round 3. A good opponent, I don't think he just revenge hits me. I think if he left a 5 there, he would know that it was a strategically advantageous move for me to do, rather than I'm just choosing a 5. But the 10 is different, so it is a matter of degree, right? For me to hit a 10 right now, I would be pissed off. I'd be like, what the fuck was that? Hit a 5, be like, he wasn't wrong, so I can't be mad at another player play to win, right? Balance.
Of course. Yeah. But I think it's important just to talk about these things, because this is what we're doing right.
This is great.
Is we're just trying to discuss and understand what you could be thinking about, and not necessarily what happens.
So here it is. So I'm starting my turn with 19 troops. Could I kill this bot? Is there any way I could get the bounty?
You have 9
Let
below.
me have a look.
I have 19
so
coming in.
You need to add like 7 there, and you need to add maybe 1.
See, the problem is you have to go through 6 troops to get to that 3, and then 6 troops to get to the other 6. It's a lot of troops.
It's a lot of Medi. It's the same guy, right? So I'd be feeding Medi to someone else if I did that.
Yes. Do you have a set at this point?
Yeah, I have a 10 trade.
Oh, you do. You have the 10.
That's what I'm saying. In this move, I thought about killing the bot, and I thought, can I then kill Medi? because
Not
I
right
think
away.
it's not a terrible play, actually.
it's a terrible play because I get 4 cards from the bot, not 5. I won't set in turn. I'll get eaten. I'll piss off Mr. Fufu, and then I'm in a whole different type of board position where I won't be holding shit. So I might get a bounty, but then I also might go 5th.
Yeah.
It's good not to do it. I agree with you.
2 green.
But you know, I thought
If he
about it.
wasn't directly behind you, if he'd already gone,
Yeah.
I think it's not a bad move because he goes before you.
So turn order matters
And then
a ton
you-
here.
Yeah, 100%.
You would need to make sure he can't meaningfully
Actually,
hit you
I need this
because you've ruined his game, right?
Yeah.
He's going next, so now his emotions can
Yeah.
play into this.
I very much needed to keep green sweet this entire time in order to get away with all the nonsense that I was trying to get away with. And you see me here thinking about finally removing that blockage and going full trust mode to Medi. Because I had concluded that if I'm not going to push through a 6, I'm not going to push through a 6, I might as well fully trust and hinge my game on the fact that we're going to live together or die together.
Yeah. And I think that's fine. I think, once again, this is starting to get to the point where you want to have your stacks.
Yep.
And starting to look at it, because something will happen. We already know that the bot's dying in the next round.
So I reduce one of
Like-
I now reduce one
I
of my
threaten Medi
blocks.
either way,
Okay, so
right?
now I'm in
Medi and I have
5
a good
main
mutually assured
positions.
destruction thing going.
And I say it. We have a mutually assured destruction thing going. I don't like the line he has, but he still only gets 3 territories up in that line. So again, a lot of my game here is trying to make sure that I'm blocking off people from the inevitable 70, and I still feel okay with blocking off green in the top middle.
Yeah.
On.
So you're doing a different type of threat guard than an interior guard with your 11 because you can come down and ruin his second bonus.
Medi has good
So,
lines
and I think he
on 2
understands
of the
that.
bot positions.
It's the difference between GMs and new players. I think against new players, they just break you there
Bot
because
might
they think,
survive
oh, he
and
can't
trade,
respond.
And then whoever it trades
Correct.
next to.
Well, it's
Yeah.
pretty short-term thinking.
It is, but that's
Happy camp.
when you're
Okay,
playing
so
against
he's
new
gonna remove it
people.
from that
You have to
section,
think
or
about
is
that.
he gonna hit the 2? Hits the 2 and passes, right? Yeah. He's gonna let me. Ooh,
Okay, so
that
he
gives me
opens
a
that
start.
up.
Here's
Give
where
me a line
Drogman's
of
Heart
block
kills
kill.
the
Okay,
bot, right?
If the bot doesn't trade,
Drogman's Heart
So,
kills the
which
bot
way
now.
does he
if the
go?
bot doesn't trade on 4, I can kill it.
Yeah, because you would have killed it in the next turn.
He kills the bot now. He goes through Exalt's 8,
hope
if
the
I'm
bot
not
doesn't have a set.
mistaken. I didn't see it. I
He
didn't
goes
think,
through the 8.
I didn't
okay.
think I didn't think he would do this, but he goes through Exalt's 8. And fair enough. That's
8 on
magic.
4
I
is...
can turn them. Oh, and
Yeah.
it looks like Drogman's Arm beat me to the punch.
So he gets it.
Kill.
I was lining myself up to get it. He gets it.
Drogman's Arm gets the first bounty.
Very
Well,
solid.
Maddie also opened up you to get the bot as well.
Yeah, I was excited. I was hoping. I was like, yeah, now I get a fucking kill, right? But no.
Oh, I don't know, man. I think he should try to take that 7 as well.
Of
Is it
Exalts.
too greedy though? Yeah.
Well, then Exalt dies.
Yeah,
And he
it's
takes a
very greedy.
50.
So-
and
Okay,
it's
hold
not
on,
really
Phil.
100% as well.
Hold on, Phil. Which 7? The 7 in the left hand side,
The right hand side.
Right hand side, yeah.
or in the top? Oh, sorry, the
Yeah.
right. Okay, the 7 on the right hand side. Okay, so that, but then he's trading.
Through the
out-
bonus he already...
Then he's
Yeah.
gonna lose. Then he's gonna lose his 6 and 2 singles in the top middle, right?
True.
So
He
if
loses
you,
the position, doesn't
if
have
you
the
were
attacking spot.
Drogmansarn, would you want to trade out your 3rd position to lock Exalt in a single spot, or would you be more comfortable taking the bot still be in 3 places? I think he played it perfectly.
Yeah, I
see
agree.
your
I think it's a very good play.
Looking good. Had to break
then
the
you
And
let-
he's,
Exalt
and he's
to
got
do
that
it.
21
You let-
blocking
yeah,
now.
You let Exalt
So
take it
he's at
back.
risk of losing this position.
He
And then
puts-
this is where you need the sorry chat. Just go sorry and then break through the bonus. I didn't want to do it. The bot forced me to do it.
Well, everyone's playing to win. You got to get that.
Yeah,
penalty.
exactly.
We
I-
clear no nukes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think you would understand in a tournament why that happened to you.
Oh, of course.
Takes it back with
So,
no guard.
what's everyone's position right now? So what are we thinking about?
So
Exalt's got 35 troops and 5 cards.
Position for a while, and
Yeah, but he's not really killable.
It's not really killable, no. And I don't think there's anyone that's particularly strong enough that could kill him and survive the next turn.
I
So
like
I
that
think
Nuke has created this second position.
Mm-hmm. It was necessary. He needed that very much so.
To be honest, I was surprised that position lasted as long as it did, because it was a 3 for a very long time.
So I have a trust.
Yeah, he's kind of doing a clinic on like how to keep yourself unkillable and advance your game right now.
I remember this. This is when you come out and you go into that extra territory.
Yeah.
So I now have 4.
I think when I watched this, I think you made a mistake
Okay.
in Eternal 2
Here we are.
about this as well.
Here we are. So
I can't remember exactly what happened. Not this turn.
Oh, okay.
I think what you did here is perfectly fine. But I remember in a couple of turns you did something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I thought it was a mistake at the time.
Excellent. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think this has the potential to go forward.
I'm sure we'll find it when we get there.
You'll notice it right away. It'll stick out like a sore thumb to you.
Right.
Actually, I'd really like to hear
How's it going? Okay, maybe
Phil's
take the
thoughts on
third
it as well.
bonus.
That'd be
Welcome to the
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So we finally see Matey take a third bonus. So I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking right now, right? I'm thinking I'm tied for the lead in troops, but I'm not generating. I'm not going to be generating at the speed of green. So something has to give. I'm going to need to figure out how to get that top middle to catch up, right? To maintain a lead. So how do I do that? Maybe I overextend to your prediction, right, Curlza? Like, maybe you think I played it too risky.
Guys, if I'm not as attentive to chat as I would like.
Sure, I'm sure I'll see it when it happens.
Okay, so
And it may be that it's more I'm thinking too progressive like.
Also,
but I'll be very interested to hear what Phil thinks as well.
Also, Dromnitsarn is now in 4 places, so that's really strong, right?
Incredibly strong.
It's really great at being able to make Exalt sets a 4 trade in, so that's bad.
Yeah.
So we see 2 4 trades already.
Why does he do this? He's afraid of dying to who?
I think he just had to set.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Oh no, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think it was a
cards.
forced trade on 4, which sucks.
How many?
Okay,
territories
hold
do you
on.
need
This one's an important thing. Okay, so Exalt's turn. He adds to his 12, and now he moves. He makes a blocked 20 stack. This is what
I would much rather.
Yeah.
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
Who is going to make the move?
And this is what I was talking about in the earlier rounds. Like, I'd like to see him move the 10 down there.
Would you? Okay, so let's assume we did Exalt's turn up to this point, up to the fortify. You move the 10 out. You move the 10 out, right? And you let Nuke.
I do.
Yeah, you let Nuke because you don't want me taking that +5, and you know I'm gonna.
No.
You know I'm gonna. So now
If he has this
I'm licking my chops.
one on the right
Yeah.
in another spot, you could possibly like be thinking about taking the whole game before too long.
Who? Exalt?
Exalt.
How?
Yeah, because
He moves his 21
he's
down.
got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if he could put like, he could punch through you and get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. How many does he need? 22, 24. How many does he need? 33? Did I lose you guys?
No, I'm listening. I'm just listening. I'm listening to your mind
Like-
work, man.
I'm counting like he's up to like 27 or something that he could probably get if he had his stacks in the proper places and he got a trade. So he's getting really close to being able to like his troops are in the proper place to maybe make a run for it at some point, but I don't know.
So if you're saying
Yep.
If he moves the 21 down to where his 1 is instead, so he swaps those 2 positions, and then he's got like all that middle section he can take. So if he goes
Not
through...
all 1, 1, 8, 1, 1, 6, 1, 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
And then if it was
Then
if he left the 10 up the top, he could hit the 6 and Pete's 1. And if he had the 10
with
down,
a trade, he could punch through the 14 and get 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And then he's got 1 in Pete's continent as well. I mean, look at all this he would own, right?
I don't think he gets the 70%, but I like the thinking. I think
he's at like 60.
Yeah, I think this is the time of the game, though, where you should be stacking up. And, like, Pete is in a pretty good position for that now.
Yes.
To start looking to try and bust through things to take it.
But I take another bonus instead, don't I?
I believe you do here, yes.
A bad move.
And I say, I say this is a bad move before I do it.
See, yeah, okay. Let's watch how this plays out.
So you hate this turn. You think I fucked up.
I'm not sure if it's this turn or the next turn. So I definitely like you taking pink out of there.
So I won't guard. I'll let him break me if he wants to, and I'll let him let me hold if he wants to.
Okay, so now how easy is it for blue to just take all that top part?
Right?
Quite easy.
I don't know, guys. I wouldn't worry about me.
With another active stack, he's sitting pretty.
The question is how hard.
This is where blue hits you back. I think it's after blue hits you back that I don't like the turn.
Okay. So that was an okay turn?
I don't mind this. This is greedy, but I don't mind it because green has also got 3 bonuses.
I'm known for being greedy. I won't apologize.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. And now everyone now a bunch of people got 3 bonuses.
Right.
And I think Exalt breaks both of your bonuses here.
He does. Which is an interesting move to make.
I don't remember what you do after that.
Free break, do it.
Free break, do it. You know he's gonna.
No, but I definitely didn't expect him to hit the other one.
I don't lose a guard stack.
Yeah, I think that was the mistake. No, he doesn't do it there.
Cool.
He doesn't do it yet. He does it eventually. Yeah. Because now I try and block it off, or do I still leave it open?
See, this I can't remember now.
Yeah. Because so now
like
we have a stable
shot,
board,
and then his second one is like, no, you're not having 3 bonuses. Like, he's making a statement with it.
Which is fine if we weren't all so fucking equal, but we have a very balanced game right now.
Go ahead.
I mean, Exalt's just in a really tough position now. He's got 2 really small bonuses. Everyone else is taking bonuses up. Like, he's in a really tough spot.
Yeah, everyone else in 3 places. Except for me. I'm only in 1. But he's.
But you've also got a lot of troops and a lot of board.
Yeah, I do.
So it's not so bad.
No, I'm not. I'm not lamenting my position, but I'm actually the only player in 1 position, which I usually advocate that you do not do. So I'm basically trying to make the lemons into lemonade. If I was Exalt, though, I would look at trading with Dromden Sarn here. Rather than, well, it's tough to say, right? Because how are different people going to play it?
Exactly, and I think he might be thinking that you guys can trade at the top.
Yeah,
because
which I have no interest in doing. I'll take a +5, thank you very much.
Nuke is running out.
Nuke's done a good job.
But yeah, I guess he feels like.
I don't see him having any win opportunity here, though. Nuclear.
Well, where do you go? Where do you go from here if you're Nuke? Like, what's his next turn look like? Break someone or skip?
I think if you go and take that 1 now, I think you have to leave the 20 there and force Exalt to trade with Nuke below.
Which I don't do? Was that the mistake?
I think so. I think you move back into the center, and that allows Exalt to...
yes, because... Okay, so here's my... Okay, good. So you think this was an error.
That's a global dom move.
No. So hold on, guys. Here's my logic. At least hear me out and then give me shit. The thinking is I'm already in a decent lead in terms of troops. I don't want all eyes on me yet. I'm not strong enough to survive 2 people hitting me.
Yeah.
So I'm greedy, but I don't want to be scary yet. Right? That's the thought, at least. I guess
enough.
Exalt is already scared, though, because you see how he responds. And he goes pop, pop.
Yeah.
Then again, Medi's doing even better than me, which is the other thing. 84 troops to 69, so I'm holding 4 cards.
Yeah, exactly. He's just traded in. And where does he get a card? You know?
I think he skips, doesn't he?
I believe he does as well. I think he starts the skip now.
Well, hey man, you're in this great of a spot. You don't actually.
Oh,
need to piss
of
anyone
course.
off.
Yeah. No, I think that's the correct move.
So Medi skips. Dromedar gets 12 a turn. So I really do kind of need to keep that +5 in order to keep parity. And instead of that, Exalt breaks me and slows me down.
Yeah. And I remember that you were very angry at the time as well.
Well, because it's...
Well, like, I get it. I get it.
It hurts my game, and it doesn't benefit his, and it benefits Dromedar and Medi. So I hate moves like that because I'm working very hard, obviously, at establishing equilibrium or advantage.
Does Exalt let me hold?
And I've been trying to work well with this person on my board, and it just didn't work. So it is what it is.
I think the lot.
You would have been fine with him breaking your newest continent all day long, over and over again.
For a while, until I bricked it up. I think hitting me in the other one was uncalled for, and I don't understand the thought there at all, right? Because I'm now in 3rd in terms of troops. Sorry, I'm in 4th. He has 1 troop on me, right?
I think this is just genuinely a panic move.
Yeah.
I think he didn't know what to do in this situation.
I think it was an emotional move too, but why on earth, if you were afraid of me, would you piss me off?
Yeah.
It seems like the
'Cause
opposite
he's
thing that
got
you would
on-
want.
Yeah, I think...
Oh, and he goes all the way over.
Yeah.
Right.
Where does he go back to?
And
Back
you
in
see
the
the intensity in Pete's eyes here. That's not an intensity I want to see.
Pete's now having a bad time again. We've gone back to angry
Yes.
Pete. He's like, fuck, cock, sucker.
Okay, now let's. What's it?
I can break and up and raise him.
I think you could have bricked that up
His
the turn before.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
think
If I re-raise,
Exalt
he'll just
ruins his game by
suicide.
hitting your
No,
19.
I don't think so either. But I wanted, as I said, I just wanted to not get super scary right away. I didn't
Yeah, no,
need
and that's
to be
fair. And
getting
once
those
again, this
5
is an opinion.
because if I started getting those 5 extra troops, Medi's going to hit me from the other side, and I'm super soft to Medi, and he's really strong, right? I was more worried about Medi than Exalt in this moment. That was the thought.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I guess that is the thing as well, is that string of ones on the other side of
Yeah, I was very soft to Medi, so I wasn't trying to leave myself completely open. Let him steal that fucking bonus and brick that up, right? That'd be terrible.
But you do have the 15 there stopping him stealing that bonus.
Depends on how much you trust Exalt.
Well, I mean, this is the thing.
I think you took... Now you're blocked from him. Did you block yourself on purpose by taking that 1 extra...
Yeah, I'm trying to slow play it a bit. I'm not trying to be the scariest person.
A good faith move.
Well, not with Exalt. You don't get a second chance at good faith. He had good faith. It was strictly to avoid the thing that gets me killed every time, right? People teaming up to kill me.
Chooses not to get a card.
You really have to make it such that your opponents fight you one at a time, right? Divide and conquer.
Okay, Exalt gets an easy take on me again.
So what does Exalt do here?
He finally starts getting cards in the other spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I call.
Good. I just really hate where his 30 is on the right as well.
Not the right target.
Yeah, I would have put it in the
Yeah.
other spot. At least it would be open to something. Leaving it there is just there's no reason, right? If he had his
Yeah,
if he-
I feel like Exalt is just panicking because he just doesn't know how he can win
I
this
don't
game,
like
and
this
it's a
anymore.
really tough
I don't
spot
like
for
this
him.
situation.
It's
And
a
maybe-
really tough spot for
do
him.
you want to see Angry Pete? This is Angry Pete. Look at this guy.
This
Yeah.
game
Sitting
is
back, crossing his arms,
You're
he's
so
having a bad time
Like,
over
so
there.
looking at this
I
game,
don't want to die.
so this is where the game gets hard because this is where people are going to start choking up stuff,
I also have a 4
and
trade.
you get the +4 as well.
Yeah, I have a 4 trade, which fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So where am I at? I'm second troop wise. 87 to Medi's 95, but Medi's skipping. I'm at least still getting cards.
Yeah.
This is where
So what value do you
brick
put
it up
on a-
here, yeah?
Yeah.
This is now when I take it.
Okay.
What's your question,
What do you do
Curlza?
here? How much value do you put on cards in fixed per a card?
Three
Because I've heard
three
Three troops?
3 to 4 troops.
Master
I
Risk
think
used to
that's-
say 2.8.
But it's
Really?
But I don't
not,
know
right?
if you
Because
did the math.
there's implied future equity in a card. Right? It's
Explain.
not.
So yeah.
Okay, so this is let's pause the video. So you're playing fixed. So the first thing you need to consider is what is the average value of the average trade? The average value of the average trade is around 10 troops. Not quite 10. Sometimes you get a 12. Sometimes you get an 8. Sometimes you get a really shitty trade. But let's assume that the average value is around 10. Okay?
Yeah.
That means each card is worth 3.3 troops.
I think it's slightly lower, but yeah, I agree with the principle.
But I actually think it's slightly higher because there's implied future equity in getting future cards. So it's not your ability to take cards is not limited to a single card. It's also your ability to get another card.
Yeah.
So
You hit a 7, and that opens up a bunch more cards you can get.
So
but-
I tend to value it slightly higher at something like
Yeah.
3-ish, 4, maybe 4 troops. That's how I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Phil?
I think it's very situational because if you have a string of 7s in front of you, you just don't get any more cards. But if you have 1 7 and a bunch of 1s, then it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's probably a little below 3 because of the possibility of small trades. And also you have to consider you're occasionally losing a troop when you're making the attack as well. So it's probably closer to like 2.5, something like that. But you do make investments in future cards, which is future income. If you're thinking about it like economics, like you would hit a 7 if that means that you can get a bunch of 1s in the future. But you don't hit a 7 if you have to hit a 10, a 5, a 4 afterwards. So it's really like what's my future equity I can get or future income I can get out of this investment is how I think about it. So I would probably never hit a 40 just to get a card, but I would hit a 40 for board position if that makes sense.
Yeah. This is like I get a lot of requests for like beginner level videos. Hey, I'm a beginner, I'm an intermediate, how can I learn? This is like the highest level sort of conversation video I've ever done. Right? This is might appeal to the smallest audience, but it's the most interesting to me. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I wanted to do something similar as well. That's
Oh,
why we were talking about before.
So good.
I'm really liking this conversation.
All right.
Oh, I think it's interesting. It's not often you get to talk to people when you're not playing about how the game goes. I think it's more interesting to do a review
To be able
like
to
this.
pause the video, you're like, okay, what's this guy
exactly.
thinking in the moment? I was
And
actually a
it's
little
more-
bit worried Exalt was going to hit me more than that here, right? With the 40 stack, hit my 25. I don't know, maybe I pissed him off, right?
I think he was telling you something, and then you obliged.
Okay.
I think he was telling
Slow
you.
your roll, Pete.
Don't do that.
don't.
This
Yeah,
is-
yeah.
This is ours, not yours.
Got it.
Don't do this.
Got it.
Then he said it again stronger, and then you listened, and then he said, cool.
Cool. So he called.
So, in this position, what do you think your win condition is? Because, like, you have to be thinking about a win condition at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with that happening.
I think I take that +5. My win condition is centered around taking that bonus.
Okay.
Which I do now.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, see, I like this. I like this a lot.
Okay.
If you want
he's
to
never
I
Now
like
I'm
this a lot.
really soft to Medi.
Yes.
Now what do we do?
Right?
I
now,
think you
now
could-
Medi gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
don't
8
think he
free
froze.
territories.
Yeah.
When he goes for the victory, because they're not free. If he takes
He doesn't
them
win
now,
the game off
you have
that.
the 7.
If I was him, I'd break me. I'd get one card. I would break me. 100% in his seat. I would hit that one with his 45. Because Pete just took a +5. He can now lose the +3. Right?
How
But
would-
then you take that back and you defend a little bit. I'd leave maybe 13 troops there, just enough to say, I don't want you breaking me anymore.
Yeah, but that's fine.
But,
And I
but
would
not
have,
How
enough
would you
that if you
respond if-
lose it, it's not the end of the world.
if he broke and split that top wall enough to keep you from it, so like 25 over there,
yeah.
and then he moved his 33 down to block your 17 in the bottom wall. I mean, what can you do to him?
Nothing.
He could have broke you, left that open,
Yes.
and then had the 33 to attack the 17.
He's not going to start the foo-foo, though.
Exalt puts a set. Hopefully most of
You
them
don't
are
get to
good.
walk around, call yourself Mr. Foo-foo, and then go around starting foo-foo, so...
Yeah.
Right?
But this is the thing. This is where it's interesting: is the knowledge of the other players.
Yep.
Just build. Okay, build Steve.
And I think this is where you have a big advantage.
He's in a great spot. He's got 117 troops. He's fine. I was not sure that he wasn't going to hit me, but I made an educated guess and it worked.
Mhm.
And now I have
You're gonna take again.
as soon as it gets to my turn, I have now an advantageous position. All things being equal, I should win this game. So someone else has to act in order to gain a new advantage. Because I'm generating the most troops, and inevitability is on my side. For really the first time in the game. I was keeping parity with these guys, but now I catch right back up.
Looks
Fif-
like I get to hold my lead.
15. Take the lead.
So my question now becomes: how do you get the win condition? Like where are you
here?
going to put your troops at? Yeah. So where are you going to put troops now that you can start thinking about a win condition?
All right, so what I imagine I
And
do is I brick up the interior guard again.
So one away from
One away from
Medi's
his
45.
45. I still let him I let him show bad faith when and if, but I'm going to lock some amount of troops on that one to ensure that I hold my current structure, which is the advantageous structure.
So I would probably, if it was me,
Yo.
and Phil, I have a different opinion.
How do you
I'd
do it?
probably put about 13 there, put most the rest of them where there, yeah, and then I would move some 44 away from.
Nah, but I don't trust Exalt anymore. He doesn't get to hit me again.
I'd probably leave about a
No.
third.
I do not trust Exalt. I will not
Hey.
let him hit me again. That's it. He had his chances to hit me. He hit me. That's it.
Okay.
I need that
Yeah.
+5 now.
Nukes his things.
It's mine.
Yeah. give
Yeah.
him a card,
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
I mean, that's fair
Yeah.
enough. I just that threatening, like I don't like so much in this position. I'd leave probably 30 there to make it not worth it. Like if he hits you, he just ruins both games.
Oh.
But I think you could use that 13 troops somewhere else for a win condition.
Like line it up on the 17 so I can hit down?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
probably
See?
specifically that, yeah.
Medi breaks me. It happens.
So now you have to move that 14 across. But I would still have liked to see some more troops on that 17 because I think that 17 is specifically your win condition.
Oh.
Because if it gets to the 32, you can go 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah. Yeah,
And the
I
other
mean, I think
17s
that's the
go
only way that you win
1,
that
1,
game.
12.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not.
Like the
I'm not
40.
there yet.
What does the 44 do for you?
It stops Exalt from hitting
Guard
me
all
again.
these positions, can
Yeah.
I?
But I think a 30 does the exact same
Yeah.
message. Yeah. Because what's he gonna do? Use a 50 to hit a
He
30?
keeps stacking there. He keeps re-raising me on that front, probably for the rest of this game.
Yeah.
So I have to keep calling because I can't let him hit me.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know
is
why
this
he's
a
doing
is this
that.
a mistake?
Yeah, I don't know. This
Is this a mistake by me? Is this a mistake by him? Is it a mistake by both of us? You know what I mean? This
opinion. I'm trying to look to win the game.
okay.
I think it's. I don't think it's a mistake by him because he's just trying to survive. He wants to live as long as he possibly can. I think he's given up on winning the game.
His biggest mistake in this game is not having that 45 stack one territory over.
I agree. I
Right?
totally agree with that. I think that 45
entire
is.
game hinges around having a 45 stack that is essentially useless and a 54 stack now that is essentially useless. Right?
This is what I'm saying. I think he's given up on winning the game. He wants to just survive.
He needed to trust me. That was his sort of chance. So he still could have it, right? He doesn't necessarily know how I play, but if Exalt moved the 54 down, you think I'm opening it? No chance, right?
No, zero chance.
No
exactly.
chance. Right. And
Zero.
that would be his
Yeah.
win condition. So, things to think about.
Well, I agree, but this is what I'm saying. I think in this spot,
Yeah.
having the 44, I think has zero difference between 44 and 32.
I
Like, if he's gonna-
disagree. Only
I think if
because
he's gonna
he
hit you, he's
already
gonna hit
hit me.
44.
Best.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I could be wrong. He could just hit you regardless. But for me, I'd rather have my win condition there. It's like, at the moment, if something happens, it's very hard for you to win the game. Like, if there was an opportunity right now, let's say Nuclear tries to go for the win,
Yep.
which he won't in this position, but in theory, let's say he tries to go for the win, how do you capitalize on that? You've got so many troops locked up there.
Oh, I see.
And the other
I see
thing
what you're
is,
saying.
I think I leave...
Okay, so the reason I wasn't remotely concerned about that was my entire model for my opponent's behavior is these guys are all still playing to win. Which, as we will see, was a mistake. That was my failure. So,
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I think you should be thinking way more about the win condition here than...
well, I'm not
trying
there
to
yet.
build troops.
I'm not actively able to. Right? I'm still playing a regular fixed game. I'm not playing a fixed 70 game other than the way that I'm bricking it up because I don't see there being any line to my victory. So I'm much more worried about my positioning than I am about anyone else, quote, throwing their game and causing the chain of
Fair
dominoes
enough. Like,
to
I
fall.
totally understand what you're trying to do.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
it just
I really
wasn't
only see like
correct.
27. You can maybe get to 30 if you punched out completely
Yeah.
and your troops are in the right spot.
Yeah.
And once again, like, I think this is another example of what I'm talking about. So you see you move that 17 back
Yeah.
after Medi already broke you.
I should have left it
I
forward.
I think you leave it forward. Once again, it's not a stack that's threatening him to say, I'm going to break you. But
It
it's
says
like,
if you break me, it'll cost you.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think these guys are, on general, good enough that they're not going to give someone else an advantage just to break you. I think this is where the game of chicken comes in.
Right.
Where you can kind of say, I'm
He lets me have it.
gumming up the board enough that if you decide to break me, you are going to lose with me. But if you don't break me, I'm going to win the game. You know what I mean? Like, is someone going to sacrifice their game to specifically stop you from winning the game?
I mean, I've seen it all, right?
And yeah, and it could happen.
Okay. Exalt sets in with the big set.
I would like to try and win the game and take a risk.
I just don't understand what that 45 is doing, right? It's not offering him anything.
No, it's not. It's just sitting next to a 49. Like,
and if
Yeah.
You can't tie roll for 6.
It's really not, because he needs a bunch of this other, this mid and south part of the map in order to win. So with having both of these stacks like essentially pushing through the same circle, he's not even close to getting the win condition. Like, even if people start messing up, because they have to both go through the same direction.
And he re-raises to a 69.
Worth a dab.
Oh, we dab.
so
Worth a dab.
how many
dab.
more territories do you need to win at this point? Can we just... How many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you got 13, right? Or I miscounted. And how many do you need? 32?
31.
31. So what do you need? 17 more.
5. And then you can... That 35 of pink really hurt you too, because there'd be
7,
4 there.
8. Yeah, so I think, let's say you had 30 something on your 19 and you had less on there. I think you're really close to being able to win the game in the next 2 turns. I think you're really close to being able to win the game.
I have to move some troops off the 46.
Yeah, so but if you also have some more troops on that 19, you can go through the 12, and get those 2 in the bottom as well. I think you've got enough to win the game.
I think it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 29, 30, 31. Yeah, if your troops are in the right spot, you might get 31.
So if you're,
I think
if you're me here, you start consolidating stacks?
100%. And I remember watching it going, like, how do you win? Like, if you leave at 30 where your 48 is, and on your 19 on the left bottom hand side, the middle one, if that's 30, I think you win the game. Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have a 31 chance, because you get the 3, 4. Yeah, I think you have 31 exactly. If your 46 is more on your 19.
But this is what I'm talking about. Like, what is the win condition? Like, yeah, you're in a really strong position, but I don't think you're in a winning position. You know what I mean? Like, how do you win the game at this point? Like, imagine you'd taken 15 off that 46 to where your 19 is, next to Pink's 35, and then you put everything else on your 19. I think you're so close to being able to win the game. It's not funny.
This 36 moving left of nuclear, though, makes that 1 hard to get.
Yeah, and say now, like, why are you adding troops there? Like, if he's gonna break you, he's gonna break you. Like, it's just a...
Okay, I want to talk about this. Medi's turn.
Why did he do that?
Why did
49.
he do that?
I don't know.
He's letting Exalt through.
Why?
He's telling Exalt. Because he sees you two having animosity.
Yeah, he wants Exalt to hit me.
He wants Exalt to hit you.
Yeah.
And that'll open his 49, and then he is close to a win condition as well.
Right.
Yeah. I like that move.
Ah, okay. But you think Exalt falls for it? I don't think Exalt falls for it.
I don't think so, but nothing else is happening. It's worth trying it for 1 turn, right?
Sure.
It's also, like...
Sorry for the dead air, guys. I'm focused.
So the only risk is...
Oh, is this where... Oh, no. Okay. I thought this is where Nuclear died as well.
No, that's the end. That happens. That all happens right at the end.
Yeah.
Exalt's not happy.
Yeah, see...
He's gonna break
that 48 now hurts.
Right?
So I think you lost an opportunity there to win the game.
He's gonna go
Potentially.
Hmm.
But Exalt's gonna now... Oh, this is where he was thinking about breaking and he doesn't do it. Yeah.
You might have had 75
No, he
turns
does.
ago, but
He does do
to,
it. He does do it eventually. He just thinks about it for a while. Dromstars don't hit me. Thanks.
Chooses to take a card.
I really do enjoy the emotes that express displeasure. You see, I don't ever use them.
Wow.
You don't want people to know what you're thinking.
Well, why would I? What is the value of expressing displeasure? I am trying to win the game. So
That's what it's all about.
So are you.
I know.
Yeah.
See, like I don't like you adding troops on that 22 now.
I know.
Because it can literally only get 3 spots.
I see your logic, but I'm in a much longer game than you are.
Yeah. Maybe that's
In
true.
my-
And once
in
again,
my
I don't
head.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a much longer game in my head than you are.
Because you're already at 30-something%. Like,
Maybe gets a card here now.
things are happening now. People are getting broken. Like, you need to be in the position now to take advantage.
Or you
'Cause
can
things are
bust a
happening.
couple of stacks and clean up behind them and maybe get the 70. What is going on here?
Yeah, so this is huge. Like, because now this 48 might move. So, this makes a huge difference to the game, I think. Like, I think now you have to be ready. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't like stacking up against Exalt here. Like, if I've got 30 there and I lose the 30, well, I lose the game. And it wasn't because I didn't try, you know what I mean? And then I probably think about just stacking up on Exalt and killing him. And trying to get the bounty, you know what I mean?
Grandmaster breaks.
And salvage something from the game.
Reinvest.
Who would I even
Sorry,
kill
excuse me.
if I wanted a bounty?
At this point, no one, because
Right.
all your
No, you
stacks
can't.
is on
Bad,
Exalt.
But even if
bad position.
Salt he takes.
And this is what I'm talking about, like trying to
Never
have
really
your win
takes,
condition
right? I'm gonna
early.
call
Mm.
it.
Like, because it at the way your troops are at the moment, it feels like you need at least 2 turns of positioning
Oh, he doesn't
to-
take a card. Ooh, why?
to get into a winning position.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm not seeing like in some of these games 70% you like kill somebody and that leads you to trading in and taking over, you know, another spot of the board and that's how you win. I'm not seeing in the current game state that being a possibility for people.
Like I said, I think there was an opportunity a few turns ago for it. But now
It's over.
there's yeah.
All right, what
Like-
about this? Nuke opens up Exalt 73.
Did everyone card block me? Nice. Okay, so I'm card blocked.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then where he puts, so the problem here is he opens up to 73 and then he puts his troops in the way. Right?
Yeah, but where can you go? Like,
Yeah. But like, what was he afraid of? Was he afraid of getting killed by pink? And that's why he went to open the 73 instead? I mean, why didn't he go right instead of left? Was it possible? It was possible that pink would have killed him. Yeah. Pink had everything pointed at him if he goes right. Okay. That was the right move.
That I can hit that.
Pink literally has everything pointed at Nuke.
I'm gonna take none
Yeah.
of those options.
and once again, like
Which
you're
is what I-
just
which is what I should have noticed.
like I don't. Yeah.
There you go.
So I start lining it up now that I'm actually in the lead. This is a thing I need though, right? I need to be in a advantageous position before I feel comfortable taking the risk.
Yeah, and that's fine, but I think that you're just playing chicken with Exalt in the top left-hand corner. When, like, no offense to Exalt, but Exalt can't win this game really, unless someone really fucks up before him.
Right.
And even then, like, he's so trapped. Like, it's
All right.
It's very hard for him to
So
the
here
game.
we go. This is the moment. right? Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it one more time. This is the moment. We see the perfectly timed double dab. Robinson puts 69 troops. Bang.
Bang. Yeah, it's in.
And I start laughing, but then I stop laughing
Because
because
we go.
Robinson kills
All right,
Nuke.
Grandmaster kills Nuke.
This is
Yeah.
the end.
All right. This
Does
game is
Exalt
ending.
win this game? I
Yes.
can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
He goes from a losing position to a winning position because of turn order.
Yeah,
Robinson-
exactly. And see,
Robinson
yeah.
takes a second bonus on Nuke, opens up the line. Exalt obviously can execute a kill on Robinson now. He gets fourth. Exalt wins, ties me and Medi for third. And that's the game. I get an 8-point game.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Was not elated by the outcome, but I was very interested in the analysis and the psychology. And basically, Robinson said in the lobby, he says, I didn't see myself doing any better than that.
Exalt kills Grandmaster.
Interesting.
That's what he said. I didn't see myself doing any better than that. Which
He was in a really good position.
which
Yeah, he was.
which I also kind of disagreed with. So the fact that I didn't see it means that I mispredicted the game, right? I lost this game maybe for the reasons you said. I didn't line myself up properly, but also for this reason. I was still playing a longer game where I was going to establish more value before I would line myself up to do, a potentially winning play.
I think that was the mistake. I feel like
Yeah.
you didn't have.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
And I mean, I think from when I first watched your game as well, I felt like that was the thing. Is like
I was
you didn't give
counting,
yourself a
too.
win condition. Like 50.
Yeah, we see the chaining of the Drodmanson bounty now into the 70%.
He's at 52. Mm-hmm.
And he goes through your 21.
He's got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
This game's over.
Yeah.
So
He wins right now.
adds 2
Wow.
troops there.
It just was handed
like,
to him.
yeah. That's a pretty okay roll.
And it's a GG.
And you can see Pete's not ecstatic about it.
Well, as soon as
I
I
mean,
went from
yeah.
that double dab to laugh to like, oh no, this game's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instantly. See, he kills Nuke, meaning if he kills Nuke, that means I'm not next to act. I lose.
Yeah.
Was Dramaston doing like super well and getting, what is that?
Medi and I tied for
6
third.
plus
Exalt is
2,
winner.
getting
GG,
8
everyone.
In
points.
points.
So-
Oh,
was
overall points.
So
important.
Drodmanson finished this game with fourth place is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 6. He had both kills. He had the bot kill. Drodmanson got a 12-point game. Not bad for the round.
No, not
Exalt
bad.
Exalt got a 12-point game. So Dromdansarn's move tied him for the highest points in the game. He won the game tied points-wise.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, and in the end of the day, that's probably not a terrible move then.
And
especially with
comment
the way
in the
that-
lobby was, I didn't see myself doing any better than this. I think he is 100% right. And I think the fact that I didn't see it was one of my key mistakes in the game.
Yeah.
Man, that was good then.
Yep. Exactly.
No.
Hey,
I
Well
didn't see
played,
that one
Tony.
coming either.
Enjoyed.
Yeah.
This video. What do I get?
I would have thought he was dead wrong.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying that,
think
like,
Um,
on
when I
surface
first
level.
watched the game, I didn't feel like
maybe even
it was like I felt like maybe Pink was in a stronger position than he was.
Maybe. It's all very interesting to dig into because you got to know the players. You got to guess that they know you. You got to guess that they know what they're doing, how to win. And I said it many times about these settings. These games are decided by errors. And errors are made by all players at all skill levels because the settings are so hard, and I love that. Right? So we're talking about how I fucked up this game. We talked about other things other people could have done better. Thank you guys for sharing this video with me. We got, what did we get? An hour and 40 minutes out of a 45-minute video?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a decent effort.
I think we did great. Was this, is this kind of in keeping with the idea that you wanted to do, Curlza? Like an analysis sort of chat?
Yeah, of course.
I love it.
I would still like to do some slightly different stuff, like a different sort of breakdown.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm still up if you are.
What I would like to start doing. Yeah.
Do you want to do another?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's end this show, and then we'll do your idea. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was something I've been mulling over doing for a bit. I'm going to do it as the podcast for this week because how could I not sit in VC with Fil and Curlza and have this be our weekly show? But it's also going to be on the Free for All tournament playlist because this is the deepest analysis I've done of any game, but particularly to these settings. I absolutely loved them. And thank you guys so much for sharing this time with me and your thoughts. Thanks, Curlza.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Check out these guys on Twitch and YouTube. Obviously, I'm going to post all of their links in the show notes. If you are interested in getting better at the Game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Come along the ride with me. I have a daily release on YouTube. I do Fixed Friday every Friday. I do the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast, and I stream on Twitch as often as I can. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.